behind closed doors. I'm a fool for your love.
Hi guys, another Geek123 here. So yesterday from your recording, I got to see Spider-Man Far From Home on its release in the UK. And today I'm going to give you my review and thoughts on the movie. Also at the end I will rank where it is on my ranking of the Spider-Man films. And yes, there will be spoilers, so let's get into it. So first, if you're like the 1% of people that have not seen Endgame, and I'm saying this because not just because I want it to pass Avatar, it's because you are going to be so lost from the start of this film. Especially with the start of the funny and opening, that just managed to work. I love how they take kids' way of dealing with celebrities passing with cringy music videos to songs. I know that teens are way better at editing now, but it was way better making it still images that were from like old movies or promotions of the movies when it was like 2007, 2016 editing quality of YouTube as well. I also like the way they handled the snap and how everyone returned, which is now called the blip. How people that were turned to dust returned were then faded, where they were faded and they never aged while others did. I also found these scenes of people returning in the school, like the band and the basketball team, really funny. And I know that they never answered the questions like what if people faded away on planes, and it's a coincidence that Peter's class, but one student faded away, making them one age up and be in their class turn into a love rival for Peter. But I think they handled most of it. I also like how they changed it up a bit from a typical teens high school movie to a vacation movie, like a somewhat TV show special. But it still has them teen moments movie stereotypes in the cast, like Tom Holland, Zendaya, Jacob Batalon, Angourie Rice, Tom Ravioli, and Remy He. Sorry if I pronounced some of the names right, especially with Tony, I think I pronounced his name wrong. Well, they made this even greater in their own ways, or make it refreshing for the new modern age and decade. I also like the way they handled Peter and MJ's relationship. They still are typical characters, but that we all know and love, but we see them like each other, but they just act like they don't in case they embarrass each other, like typical teens. And when they finally get together, it makes me so. Nick Fury and Maria Hill also are great as per usual, like in the MCU. Might give Peter a hard time a bit, but just what they have to do with Tony and Iron Man 2. So that worked like it did in this movie to make him into his own hero. I also love Jake Gyllenhaal. In this movie he is brilliant. I like the way he acted with Peter in both halves. Like, you can tell he's manipulating now in the first half to get Edith, but it's so shocking for the first time round because you do not know until after the bar scene everything starts going away but the team that helped him do everything. And it's a good way that you find out the twist as well. And the motives from Tony Stark might be false. They never really addressed if they were or not, but he could be lying about that to his team. But if Tony Stark did this, it does change a little bit of the MCU, but Tony was a hero that sacrificed himself, so he's still redeeming. And I like how he is trying to kill Peter and his friends, but we still see that he feels somewhat bad that he has to kill him, if it's because he ruined his plan or not. Even though that does sort of get ruined a bit in the post-credit scenes, helping the Daily Bugle make it look like Peter Parker, well, Spider-Man trying to kill everyone with his effects in the video, and him turning around letting everyone know that Spider-Man is Peter Parker to the public and J. Jonah Jameson. But nevertheless, this character is great, mostly makes a cool modern version of this comic book character. I also think that Peter's character is handled well here, and again a great job from Tom Holland, making him the same character, seeing how emotional he's getting from the stress of becoming the new Iron Man, wanting to be a typical kid when helping out with fighting in somewhat big battles, when he's usually forced in them, but in the end, and the ending of this movie really shows him become not as big as Tony yet, but we see him as his own hero now, showing he has characteristics like Tony, where he could stand on his own 2 feet as a hero. I also love the fight scenes and the effects in this movie. Some of them were typical ones, but were still entertaining in their own way. But my favourites were the ones in Mysterio with the trippy ones, like the tricking in, I think it was Berlin, I can't remember where it was, where you see a lot of work was put in, and the final battle seeing the drones after the classmates and happy while we see Spider-Man overcome everything Mysterio gives him was great, especially when he tries tricking him and shooting him. Just great the way they handled that. The spider sense was hidden this whole time, but Peter Parker's overcame it and knows what to do, and that Mysterio can no longer trick him. And another favourite of mine was seeing Peter Parker use his powers in just his normal clothes instead of being in the suit. That bus scene where he jumps, and yes, it was only a second when he went them drones up, but every single time we've seen just Peter Parker himself do stuff like this was awesome, and we've only seen this happen once or twice in the rest of the live action movies. Yeah, I think this movie is worth with the credits as well. Probably even most worth it out of the MCU other than Iron Man's movie and the first Avengers movie. Because one, it shows the future of Spider-Man, looking at how Peter is going to handle with his identity being revealed for the first time in live action. How we see he is going to handle the division of New York's trust in him, which is a great part of it in the comics. While the end credits scene shows how S.H.I.E.L.D. is changed now, with the main 2 scrolls from Captain Marvel, which sorry I cannot remember the name of, I'm quite tired at a minute, where Nick Fury and Maria Hill the whole time in this movie, and we see Fury is helping out with running the scrolls, possibly teasing Sword, while the multiverse isn't a thing now, but Sword S.H.I.E.L.D. could be a thing in the future. This movie is a 9.8 out of 10 for me, and on the ranking compared to the rest of the Spider-Man films, it's either third or second. My top 3 are Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and Spider-Man in, Far From Home. They're very close together in the top 3, but I think Spider-Man 2 is always going to be on the top because it's favouritism, unless a future Spider-Man film ends up being better than this one and Spider-Man 2. But Spider-Man Into the Multiverse came out in 2018, and this movie are just as great as well, which makes them in a joint second place or third place. I'm not quite sure, but this movie is a great way of getting Spider-Man to being a proper hero in the MCU, and it's honestly one of my favourites. So, what are your thoughts on the movie, guys? And do you like this version of the MCU character? Please let me know down below, or go to my most recent tweet at anothergeek1231. So thank you guys for watching. Peace.
Hold up.